Another bombshell has just landed in NASCAR. This time, though, it is for Chase Briscoe. Briscoe is at the center of yet another mind-boggling penalty that dramatically changed the course of the playoff battle. Okay, so what did the team do this time? And who got in trouble for it? Join us on today's NASCAR Zone video as we watch the intense fallout of this unusual penalty, which threatens Briscoe's hopes of postseason success. But before we dive into that, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Chase Briscoe, a skilled driver for the number 14 Stewart Haas racing team, was in the middle of a NASCAR controversy that shocked fans recently. In a shocking turn of events, NASCAR officials found something shocking about his car, which led to one of the harshest punishments in NASCAR history. Let's go into more depth about this interesting story. As is usual after a race, the number 14 car was taken back to NASCAR's R&D Center on Monday. To everyone's surprise, it turned out that the car had a fake engine panel duct. This duct, which was originally made to help cool the car, had been changed in an attempt to give the car more downforce. The importance of this change lies in the fact that it could give the car a competitive edge by letting it go faster. NASCAR took swift action against Chase Briscoe and his team after this shocking finding. According to the NASCAR penalty grid, the team violated multiple sections of the NASCAR rulebook. This includes Section 14.1F, which says that it is illegal to make a fake next-gen, single-source vendor-supplied part, as well as Sections 14.6, underwing, and 14.6, 3B engine panel assembly. So they gave Briscoe a harsh penalty, which caused him to lose 120 driver owner points and 25 playoff points. To give you an idea of what this means, these playoff points are the same as the number of points you would get if you won 5 races. Johnny Klossmeyer, the crew chief, was also given a 6-week ban. Also, NASCAR gave him a big fine of $250,000. It was the second biggest fine in the history of the sport. Only the scandalous way Michael Waltrip Racing changed the 2013 Richmond race, which led to a $300,000 fine, was worse. Briscoe was punished in more ways than just losing points and having to pay fines. Before this happened, Briscoe was doing well. He was 17th in the total point standings and was only 4 points away from making the playoffs. His total number of points has gone down from 292 to 172, putting him in 31st place overall. Because of this big drop in the rankings, Briscoe's chances of making the playoffs now depend a lot on winning one of the 12 races left in the regular season. In NASCAR, an L3 level punishment is only given for the worst and most obvious rule violations. It includes a wide range of serious offenses, including, but not limited to, counterfeiting or modifying next-gen single-source vendor-supplied parts and assemblies, engine violations that don't follow the rules, engine performance improvements, changing or modifying tires and fuel, and breaking the vehicle testing policy. These violations are seen as very bad for the fairness and dignity of the sport. The NASCAR rulebook makes it clear what the punishments are for L3 level violations. The book gives a range of punishments for losing points, playoff points, being suspended, and getting a fine. In the case of the number 14 car and its illegal part, the punishments were the bare minimum for an L3 violation, which is what the rules said had to happen. By sticking to the set punishments, NASCAR makes sure that the results of such serious rule breaks are clear and consistent. The minimum penalties for L3 level infractions show how seriously NASCAR takes these offenses. This shows how important it is to keep everyone on an even playing field and keep the integrity of the race. Greg Zipadelli, the chief competition officer of Stewart Haas Racing, said in a statement about the issue over the illegal part found on Chase Briscoe's number 14 car that the team had made a big mistake. He admitted that a mistake in their quality control procedures had let the illegal part gets put on the car for the Charlotte race. Zipadelli made it clear that the part should have never been on the car that was competing in the event. The team understood how important NASCAR's decision was and agreed to take the fines without planning to file an appeal. Stewart Haas Racing and its chief competition officer showed that they kept the sport's integrity and deal with the consequences of their actions by taking responsibility for the mistake and choosing not to challenge NASCAR's decision. What do you think about NASCAR adhering to its rules by issuing this heavy penalty? Let us know in the comments section below, and be sure to hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel to get the latest updates. The effects of this fight go beyond the instant punishment. Briscoe and his Stewart Haas racing team have had a rough start to the season, and they are finding it hard to repeat their success in the playoffs in 2022. Even at the race where the illegal part was used, Briscoe didn't do much, and he ended up in a disappointing 20th place. It's important to note that none of Briscoe's 3 teammates at Stewart Haas Racing have won a race this year. However, Kevin Harvick has done well enough to finish 4th in the rankings. Still, Briscoe's showing before the penalty put him right on the edge of qualifying for the playoffs. But this huge loss has done a lot of damage to his chances of making it to the playoffs. Even if he wins a race and gets into the 16-driver field that everyone wants, Briscoe will start the playoffs with a negative number of playoff points. When the first round of the playoffs starts, he will definitely be at a big disadvantage because of this bad situation. The difference between a modified part and a fake part is the amount of deception and the intention behind it. In NASCAR, teams have to buy parts from the same source to make sure everything is fair. However, some teams have been caught changing these standard parts to get an edge. Most of the time, this means changing the parts as much as possible while still staying within the rules. On the other hand, Chase Briscoe's team is more than just a simple change. They made a fake part on purpose to try to fool people into thinking it was real. Counterfeiting is when someone makes a copy or copycat of a part that looks the same but may not be the same in terms of quality or performance. It is a worse violation because the driver tried to trick NASCAR inspectors and other drivers on purpose. This is a major offense in NASCAR. NASCAR's Senior Vice President, Elton Sawyer, emphasized this difference by saying that changing parts is still against the rules.
We found the number 14 car to have an engine panel NACA duct not to compliance within the rule book. It's a counterfeit part, and that is an L3 penalty that we have assessed to the team. This is a severe penalty. We don't take these lightly. We did a lot of investigation, a lot of work, scanning the parts to make sure what we thought was correct. And after all that work that was done behind the scenes, again, it rose to a level to be an L3 penalty. Well, as we just said, don't mess with the single source parts. You basically put them on your car. Go out and work on the things that's going to give you those performance gains that you're looking for. Good pit stops, good strategy, good hard racing, but working in areas like, again, what we used to do with the Gen 6 car is just not going to be acceptable with this car. And as we move forward with this race season and moving on into 2024, that's just not going to be the culture that we're going to be allowing.
The penalty that was given on Wednesday has a big effect on how NASCAR's playoffs will go. Before the penalty, Chase Briscoe was right on the edge of making the playoffs. He was only 4 points behind Alex Bowman after Monday's Coca-Cola 600 race. But Briscoe's situation has changed a lot because he lost a lot of points because of the penalty. Briscoe's bad luck means that Ty Gibbs, a rookie driver for Joe Gibbs Racing, who is 15 points behind the cutting line, moves up to the last spot just outside the playoff field. Daniel Suarez of Trackhouse Racing, -20, Corey LaJoie of Spire Motorsports, -38, and Austin Cindric of Team Penske, -42, are the next drivers. The changes in the standings because of penalties show how unpredictable the NASCAR playoffs are. Since there are only so many spots in the postseason, each race is important in deciding which cars will make it. As these drivers try to get into the playoffs, their competition is getting tougher and their relationships are changing, which makes the next races even more exciting. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.